Hey, if you're watching this video and you're thinking about trying out the Karls mystery tackle box, this is the video for you. This is my second box from Karls Mystery. I enjoyed my December box, but it wasn't a lot of baits that I use. It was absolutely worth the money, but I've already taken a peek in this box and I am beyond excited about this box. This is a lot of premium baits and they're good things to use. This is my first YouTube video, something I've been wanting to do for a long time. I grew up fishing around Mississippi. It's where I live. I've been fishing for probably, Jesus Christ, 15 years. Since I was about 8 or 9. Probably a little more than 15. I guess I'm getting old. Don't tell anybody. My name is Dylan. A lot of folks around here have taken to call me Cricket. I don't know why. I kind of feel offended because I'm a little guy. But let's get into this box because I know that's what you're here for. Well, bam. This is the Bass Elite box. Bass fishing is my biggest hobby. I fish year-round. Nothing gets me going more than slamming bass. I mean, and I don't care if they're a dink. I don't care if they're a straight hog. Any bite makes me happy. It's my happy place. So you guys be easy on me because I'm not a pro fisherman. I'm just an old hillbilly boy from Mississippi, and this is what I do. And this is just a lot of my personal opinions and what works for me. By region, what may work in central Mississippi is not going to work the same way up north or in other states. So let's dive in. If you're from the south, maybe this will help you if you're a beginner angler. Right out the bat, and something I'm excited about that I've heard about and never used, and this is a pretty popular product in the mystery tackle boxes from what I see, and it is Biospawn. I got a 4-pack of the Exo Stick. I absolutely love worms and soft plastic crawls. That's my go-to. These are some interesting looking soft plastics. I think the color says they're sprayed grass. It's kind of like a green pumpkin almost, and it's kind of got like a purple flake and some black flaking and some green flaking in there, but I've heard good things about this name right here, so this is going to be interesting to use. And I will make another video after I've had a chance to use some of these baits and let you guys know how they work for me. So right out of the bat, we're at the Exo Stick with $2.99, so it's $3. A little pricey for 4 worms, but you know, you can't mess with success. If it works, the company's going to charge a little more. Next up, I really like this because my go-to bait, as I said, I'm a soft plastic fisherman for the most, and that's usually Texas rig. You just pull them in across the bottom, or some Strike King Rage Tail grubs. I'm happy I got these Rage Tail grubs because for some reason this year, one of my co-workers, Mr. Gene Jowers Jr., or Curdog, as everybody fondly knows him, has become my fishing buddy. And he turned me on to buzz baits and spinners and got me hard into those out at Chotard and Albemarle around Vicksburg, Warren County area. Great Lakes, if you're in that area or you're ever around here looking for a good place to fish, you're gonna do well there. These are interesting. They're a green pumpkin, but they have like a little blue in there, and it's a high blue too. It's not the dark blue flake. But like I said, Rage Tail, what I use is green pumpkin or black and blue flake. Rage Crawls is my #1 bait down here in central Mississippi. They slam. I've caught my personal best on Strike King Rage Tails. If there are fish in that body of water, you're going to get bites on the Rage Tails. The action on these are insane. So you take something that's already churning water like a buzz or a spinner, and you get that action off of that tail, it's going to blow your mind, the action that you're going to get off of these lures. So this is definitely worth it. I mean, these are great, and I'm excited to throw these on my old buzz bait. So that's a 4-pack, and those are coming in at $2.99. Next we have, and this is another one of those heavy hitter brands that a lot of people talk about. It's something that I've never seen before. It looks like a spinner. It's a Yozuri 3DB knuckle bait, and instead of a blade, you've got kind of this ball up here, and it's a round ball with a flat back, and if you shake, there's a very, very subtle rattle in there, maybe like one ball bearing. or something, and it's it doesn't have a swivel. It has a little split ring, so I feel like the action's kind of going to be up and down. If you're dragging this across, reeling fast enough to drag this across the top of the water, I feel like this will make a hell of a wake. Fishing it subsurface, I don't really know, but it's kind of like a red and orange color to it. It's going to be interesting to use. I think I might save this bait until early March, mid-March, and see how it burns up around the spawn. But this comes in at $8.99, and of course Yozuri is a trusted name in bass baits, so this is going to be a tester because I've never seen anything like that before. All right, let's dive into some of the hard baits now. First up, and this is something that I've just really started using as far as jerk baits. They said for late fall, early winter, these are killers. But I've come to find out this past year that a jerk bait slays year round. It's one of those hard baits that you can fish fast, you can fish slow. And in the colder water temperatures, anybody that's been fishing long enough, especially fishing in the winter, will tell you when you think you're going slow enough, slow down. And you cannot fish these types of lures too slow. This is the, I want to get the name exactly right. This is the Janko Fishing Perseus 110. It's a suspending, so it's not going to sink all the way to the bottom. You got 3 treble hooks on here. It's kind of like a diamond white color with that shiny sheen, which is good in clear water conditions, I think. The eyes are 3D. They're not painted on, so that's always a winner. And you got the bill, so you can really I feel like you can really rip this guy through some weeds, or just say if it's late fall, winter time, and the lily pads have died off and you're fishing those stems, which I've noticed a lot of time if you live in a climate similar to ours where it doesn't get extremely cold in the winter. A lot of those fish will cling into those lily pad stems and use them to kind of radiate heat while the sun's out during the day, and they actually radiate heat a little past sunset. So late fall, early winter, that's a great place to fish these, and you can just rip them through there. I mean, and I've gotten insane reaction bites. I actually hooked what would have been my personal best. I was kayak fishing jerk bait in a little weed bed there, and got him to the side of the kayak finally, and I'm talking about I was fixing to lip him, and he walked, dropped my bait, and I lost him, and it broke my heart. But this is an awesome bait, and it comes in at $9.99, so it's a $10 bait. Never heard of Janko before. Like I said, I'm an old hillbilly boy, and I'm just kind of now getting familiar with these fancy baits, but this is a winner. And it's cool that I got this in January because, this is mid-January, early February in Mississippi. That's going to be our coldest time of year, and this would probably be my choice out of this box during the cold temperatures. Although we are on a warm streak. It's been in the high 60s, light 70s for about 5 days now, but we've had like the worst rainstorms I can remember for quite a few years, and we've had a lot of rain, so it's going to be kind of a challenge. This next little guy is pretty cool. It's a live target common shiner. I love this bait. Swim baits are killers around here in the bigger lakes, especially when you're trying to find those schooling bass or something that's out in the deep and away from those banks and cover. This is interesting. You do have a ring on the bottom here to attach a secondary treble hook, and you've got your spinal hook here. This little fin here, even though it's flexible, kind of, if you look at it, it works almost like a weed guard and kind of makes it semi-weedless. The eyes are 3D. They're not painted on or cheap. And he's got a lot of flex. He's going to have a pretty awesome S action. If you look at the tail, I think this is really cool. In the water, you're only going to get the visual profile of, the realistic look of the tail, and the rest of the oscillating paddle here is kind of got to be invisible, but it's gonna churn some water, and I think this is going to be a killer. This guy comes in also at $9.99, so that's going to be a winner in my book, I believe. Although I'm not an expert, and I'm pretty excited I got that because I'm getting kind of low on my swim baits. Next up, we have the Bagley Flat Balsa B2. This is cool to me because it's a mystery tackle box exclusive. You can only get this in the Karls mystery tackle box. It's made out of balsa wood, which, if you're a nerd like me and you Google everything, try to find out about it, it's really buoyant. This is hand painted, so the eyes aren't 3D, and that's kind of a bummer. But you got a nice square bill, and I like square bill over round bill because to me, fishing in heavy cover, it deflects a lot harder, and you get fewer hangups on a square bill. It's kind of paint. It's a red and black paint, kind of like a crawfish pattern. I'm a nerd, so little cool things make me feel good. The hooks are red too. So this is an interesting bait, and I'm just super excited to see that we have Mystery Tackle Box exclusive baits, which is another reason that I would say, shoot, order you a box because you're going to get some baits that you can't get anywhere else. And he comes in at $10.99. Next, this is something I don't use a lot, so I don't have a lot of knowledge about it. This is a must-add bucktail jig. It's actually a bigger bucktail than you see in a lot of the bait stores we have around here and lure stores, but it's definitely interesting. It's got some of that smoke gray and black feathering and the white feathering, and you got the diamond white head, and it's hard to see it on my ridiculous camera here, but you've got some serious flash on the eye of this jig. It's just something I'm excited that I got just for the simple the name brand. I got some stand-up jigs from my Mystery Tackle Box last year, and I fell in love with them. This is a good brand to hook. Anytime I get a bite, it's a hook set. So there's always that, and it's an ultra point. Stays sharper, longer. It rings in at $3.49, and if you guys have any advice on fishing a bucktail, please leave a comment down below because I'm a complete noob when it comes to these. My granddad was a big fan, but he didn't pass that knowledge along because he can't give away all the secrets. You know how the old men are. Next up, and our most expensive bait, is the Weston swim bait. This is very interesting to me. At first glance, it's kind of like a smoked silver with a smoked eye and a green bass pattern black. And again, it's hard to see, but maybe you can. When the light hits this guy, all of that silver turns a crazy smoky sheen of purple. It's very big hooks, and I don't know much about it. It almost has the shape of a lipless crank, which, I mean, that's what it is, but nonetheless, the tie ring is on the tip of his nose instead of up on his head, so that's new. That's something I've never seen before. It's 4 inches long, and it is a 1 1/8 ounce. So this is something that I would throw with my TP1 and my Speed Spool by Lose. Go Team Lose. That's my go-to rod and reel setups. It's anything by Lose. I mean, it's tournament performance. It's what it is. It's my first bait caster. I've tried a few other brands, Abu Garcia, what have you, but I roll with Lose. That's just me. And this concludes our January Mystery Tackle Box. You see that? I'm so ready for March and fall to get here that I'm already moving my time on up a month. I hope this was helpful for some of you guys. If you have the money, go for the Elite Pro Box. If you're a year-round fisherman, even if you're a hobby fisherman or a weekender, you know, definitely. I mean, there's different levels of these boxes. They're all great. Karls is I can't brag enough on them. These guys have kicked ass. And it's my February box. If this was helpful at all, please subscribe. If you have any questions, leave a comment. You know, you can never go wrong. I'm not a pro. I have some knowledge. I've been fishing for a long time. Nothing makes me happier than wetting my line. And wet lines and tight lines, guys. You guys have a good day.